But what's the one thing that you would be all advising someone watching this let's talk about a business owner first, that they should implement after they've watched this particular part 1 of the podcast to improve their business tomorrow?
Oh, I look at Paramount and location, and what they're doing and what they've done.
What would it be specifically?
What
would you say? What's the first thing that someone should do if they were to stop watching, write this down? What can be implemented immediately for someone to improve their business as a business owner?
Well, as a business owner, just very simply use your database and go through it. Make it easy. But from location and Paramount, it's all about getting the culture right. Get the right people in the right seats of the bus. Mr. Collins' book, Good to Great. Yeah. Read that book. Great book that will really help you. Getting the right people in the right seats on the bus will make a massive, massive difference. And if they're not right, okay, what's your famous saying about arseholes?
I'd rather have a hole in the business than an arsehole.
Yeah. I'd rather have a hole than an arsehole. Do you like that, Bertie?
Fire fast.
Yeah, I love that one. I've stolen that one off of John Paul over the years.
Staff said, didn't she, you don't want to be a poo in the pool.
Yeah.
Heather Staff. Yeah. That's what you're known for, just by the way.
It's a lot about bums and poos, this one.
We think that a lot, like you don't want to be a poo in the pool.
No, but there are a lot of poos in the pool. Yeah. If a estate agency was a pool, how many poos would actually be in there?
Well, don't ask me that question.
That's quite a few.
I think for a business
a few
owner,
floaters.
95.
Just sitting a horrible turn.
Going
This.
down. Oh God!
Hey, we took a new low. That's all right. Yeah. But anyway, on the point of giving, because I think for a business owner out there today, I think people. I feel like 95%, let's just stick with that, are fucking struggling big time to know what to do next, and what's right to do next. Your advice there, Stephen, in summary, culture, what does it say? Eat strategy for breakfast. Is that right? Yeah. Is that a quote that I've heard somewhere along the lines? But the other thing is you've already got sales and listings in your pipeline, in your database. You just don't speak to people. Yeah. And I believe conversations that convert is the easiest, shortest term win that you can make. So take that on board. Lucy, what would you say to someone that's listening as a business owner?
I think you have to give autonomy in your team.
It's not about you.
Yeah, and I think as business owners, that is a really difficult shift to make.
And you've made that shift.
It's been really hard. I found it really difficult to let go of certain elements, but I've taken the time and invested, and I've now... And it's taken, a good few tries to get the right team. But now, it was like even yesterday, we have 2 meetings a week where we go through everything together as a team and we run through. And I was like, I'll pick up the phone and I'll speak to them. And they're like, no, Lucy, it's my job. I was like, okay, fine. And it is hard as a business owner to not then go, well, I can, if I just ring. But actually then, for a start, I'm going against... and taking the autonomy away from my team member, and also then they're not going to learn, and also I'm here today, so if I'd have got involved yesterday, that person probably would have rang and I wouldn't have been able to deal with it. I would have then got anxious and stressed out about the fact that I've got that. So letting go to allow yourself for your business to grow is important, but you have to pay people right. I think that is something, and it is a risk. But as long as you empower your team and you work and you're transparent with them for success. But I see too many business owners being far too involved in the business operationally day to day. They've got some great people in the business, but they're not giving them the opportunity to go for it. And so then you're not going to be able to. And
it doesn't really align with what they're trying to achieve by having the business in the first place.
No.
So actually it's like self-harm. Sorry, I shouldn't. But in a weird kind of way, it is like that. What about yourself, John Paul? What would you say?
Picking up on both what the guys have said, and I totally agree. And by the way, I think people don't leave bad companies; they leave bad bosses. So if you're not giving the autonomy, like Lucy says, then they will go find it elsewhere. But if you take a little bit what Lucy said and a little bit what Stephen said, be a leader. Be a leader your company deserves, which is all about the culture, all about autonomy. A lot of people think they've got a right to lead a business because they own a business. Not all business owners are leaders, but become a leader. Understand what it is to let go. Understand what it is to drive that culture forward. If you're the person that's damaging the business because you say, "Oh, give that here, I'll do that," what's that message saying to other people? Also, if you've got a toxic member of staff, and we all have them, or we all have had them, and you don't get rid of them, you're thinking, because that's a gap in the business, that's a hole in the business. That's saying to everybody else, John's weak, John's not a good leader.
Yeah.
So get rid of them. It sets a precedent. It says, don't F about. We've got a good business. We're all here for a laugh, but we've got to get the job done.
And more often than not, it's someone who's fairly good at their job as well. Sometimes that can be the one that holds the team back.
Then it's a will. It's an attitude issue, not a performance issue.
Yeah, absolutely. But just on leadership then, because this is where we're kind of touching when it comes to business ownership. Leading is hard. Would you say? I would say it's a tough job.
It's a skill.
It's a skill. How do you what's the best way to try and improve those skills for someone watching this show today?